Is it on video?
Is it on video? Yeah, it's on video. You see the flash?
Baby! Pardon me. Okay. Are you recording now?
No.
Should I? Weren't yet. No, your teeth are dead of the heart attack. Scared the crap out of it. Alright. Go ahead.
Okay.
Recording?
Uh-huh.
Hi everyone, this is Christina Adkison for Speak 2 of the public speaking class. This is my audience. Thank you audience for attending. And James on camera. Okay, and those are my penguins. Get them too. That is kind of count as audience. Okay. Imagine you're laying on a nice, warm, sunny beach. All of a sudden, a medium-sized black and white bird comes up to you. It's a penguin. You may think it's kind of strange to see a penguin on a beach. Well, actually, believe it or not, penguins reside in warm weather climates as well. As you can see, not only do they reside in the South Pole, but also along the coast of South America, Africa, Australia, and New Zealand. According to Wikipedia, although 17 species of penguins used to have populations that totaled in the millions, now some populations are as small as only 4,000, which is this yellow-eyed penguin here. There's only 4,000 of him left. 7 species of penguin are currently being considered for the U.S. Endangered Species Act. According to Scientific American, while penguin populations are plummeting, some are decreasing by as much as 50%. And even though that is happening, they're still not officially on the endangered species list. What's causing these penguin populations to decline? I have learned from my research and scientific articles and from my own fascination in penguins that the 3 main reasons are all man-made. For the first reason is global warming. Then the second reason is overfishing, and lastly, I'll tell you about how humans are directly encroaching on the habitats of these penguins. First, I'll tell you about global warming. According to Wikipedia, global warming is affecting the Antarctic penguins the most, obviously, which are the emperor penguins that most people are familiar with, and the Adelaide penguins. The physiology of these 2 types of penguins are very sensitive to climate change, so basically the increase in temperature from what they're used to is making them sick. It's also affecting their hatchling populations. The populations of the Adelaide penguin here have declined 50% since the 1970s. That was only 30 years ago. So as you can see, it's insane how quickly they're declining. A Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution study in January 2009 found that emperor penguins are being pushed to extinction and will probably be extinct by year 2100 due to the global climate change. In fact, the colony that was featured in March of the Penguins has declined 87%, going from 3,000 breeding pairs to 400 breeding pairs. According to commondreams.org, that 40% of the world's emperor penguins will be in jeopardy if the temperature rises another 1 degree Celsius. Poor penguins. Also, according to Scientific American, global warming affects penguins' their food supplies as well, because the fish that usually hang out in the Antarctic are going further south away from the penguins, so they're also losing the food that they eat. And also, since the ice is melting, the eggs and the hatchlings, the little baby penguins, actually fall through the ice. So they have to go further inland where it's colder, and so the populations of the penguins die. Now I'll tell you about overfishing of the penguins' main food supplies. According to commondreams.org, the global penguin population has declined because of industrial fisheries. A study published recently in the journal Science predicted that overfishing of depleted seafood populations could mean that there will be no commercial fish by 2048. That's only 40 years from now. John Donnelly of the Boston Globe said that the increased temperatures is also affecting krill, which Adelaide and emperor penguins eat mostly. In fact, they only get sufficient food about 1 out of every 5 winters now. So that just shows how they're slowly starving off, unfortunately. To make matters worse, countries are actually fishing for krill. In fact, countries like Norway and Japan fish for about 100,000 tons in order to feed the farm-raised salmon that the salmon eats the krill. Now that I've talked about global warming and overfishing, I will tell you about how humans are directly affecting these penguin habitats. African penguins suffer the most because they live in South Africa and Namibia, which are close to pretty urban populations like Cape Town. And living so close to humans causes major problems. And this visual, which represents what the penguin population was in 1910 for African penguins. Imagine each penguin representing about 50,000. In 1910, there was about 1.5 million African penguins. Now there are only 150,000 left. So as you can see, it has declined significantly in less than 100 years. Okay? Excuse me. As recently as the 1950s, the people of South Africa were actually still eating penguin eggs as a delicacy. So, as you can see, their poor babies were being gobbled up, literally. According to the book Penguins by Daniel Gilpin, these African penguins are very shy for humans. So the fact that they'll actually go into the backyards of the penguins actually go in the backyards of the humans, and that they're actually sometimes harmed by domestic dogs and cats because they're literally living in the backyards of humans. Another way that humans are directly affecting penguins is penguin smuggling. They're illegally taking penguins as pets. And of course, the pollution of their habitat is a big cause. An oil tanker in June 2000 in South Africa caused oil spills that affected 19,000 adult African penguins, covering them with oil. Also, according to commondreams.org, the pollution of their seas is obviously very harmful as well. In conclusion, we can see how humans are negatively affecting penguins through global warming, overfishing, and the direct destruction of their habitat. Penguins are important because we can study them to actually learn more about humans and things that we need to learn about our physiologies. I will end with a quote from Bernard Stonehouse. I have often had the impression that to penguins, man is just another penguin, different, less predictable, occasionally violent, but tolerable company when he sits still and minds his own business. Thank you for listening to my speech, and who says that penguins can't fly? Thanks. I have penguin attack. Yay!
They flied.
They fly.